BMRforum.com and BMRodds.com. What is going on, boys? What is going on? Welcome back to the lobby, episode number 40. Moving right along here throughout the year. Donnie and Sammy each made a comment off the air a few minutes ago how the year is just flying by. I can't believe next week will already be Thanksgiving, guys.
I'll tell you, man. The year goes by so fast. It wasn't just a few weeks ago, like, hey, man, it's great football season is around. The shows are really fun. We have so much to talk about. And then I'm like, okay, it's week 12 in college football, week 11 in the NFL. It's Thanksgiving next week. Goodness. Pretty soon, like, hey, guys, how you feeling about baseball season? Like, yeah, feeling pretty good about this. Crazy.
Just a matter of time. Yeah. Well, to my right this afternoon, the man with the streak of fortune victory, Mr. Sam's in charge. What's up, Sammy?
What's going on, Bobby? How you doing? $500
Richards,
well, feeling good. I'm excited for Thanksgiving. It is the day of eating and sleeping in the afternoon and watching the Cowboys have a Thanksgiving Day victory. We'll talk about that next week.
A little bit presumptuous there of you, Sam.
Yeah, well, you got to support the team.
And last but certainly not least, Mr. Donnie Rightside. What's going on, Donnie?
Feeling good, man. We are winding down college football season on just a few weeks left here. The NFL going strong. Good things happening around Bookmakers Review. So here we are for another week. What number is this, by the way, Bobby? What number is this?
This is episode number 40 already, Donnie.
See that, man? Crazy, man.
40.
It wasn't too long. Episode number 8 and number 9. Now we're up to 40. How about that?
I can't believe that. The weeks are flying by. But let's get right on it and talk about the hardwood, Sammy. Not your hardwood, the hardwood on the court.
Look at that.
The basketball hard.
Last week we were talking, and it was Boston at Philly as one of the major games of the night.
Yes.
Well, one week later to the day, and it's Boston at Philly.
Amazing, huh?
Yeah, right. Philly last week won at home, 3 points. It was a high-scoring game. I guess that's average for the NBA now. And Philly's getting 5 points again tonight. No reason not to take that 5 points, so I'm going to be taking Philly. And then I'm also going to take the Knicks, who are playing the Hawks on a back-to-back. I'm just hoping to take advantage of that and taking the Knicks tonight.
Or is that a homer bet? JJ, I believe, sorry if I apologize. I think it was JJ who made the thread about, the home team, your favorite team, betting on your favorite team. Sammy, betting on the Knicks. I mean, of all the NBA games going on tonight, you had to pick the Knicks.
Yeah, well, I'm not someone that goes against my team, but I also don't bet them every single night. Obviously, they're not going 82-0 against the spread.
Exactly not.
But I personally don't pay for the NBA package. So the Knicks are local for New York, and obviously they're my favorite team. So I do have them through, the various streaming through Spectrum, through my parents' Spectrum, since I have YouTube TV, and they don't have the Yankee network, and they don't have MSG. So I just watch it on my parents' Spectrum, and So anytime to watch your bet, that's always a reason to make a bet on that game.
Exactly.
Degenerate mindset. Got to watch your action.
I feel the same exact way. You got to get with the times, though, Sammy. There's a lot of underground streaming services to use, IPTV, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of ways to watch the game. The only negative, a lot of those, there's a big delay, so it's tough for live betting. But there's a lot of available opportunities out there. You can watch anything you want.
I'm good. I'll keep it legal.
Dottie, what do you got on the hardwood tonight?
Yeah, I don't like the Knicks at all, but I actually like the Knicks to go into Atlanta and win tonight. So some little bit of notch up there for Sammy. If we're taking a look at other games, the Sixers, I'm not as excited for because yesterday they did lose. Finally, it felt like after a couple games, they had that loss opening night against the Milwaukee Bucks. Then they had a great winning streak here that got upended by Indiana. Waiting to see if Joel Embiid's going to play tonight. He was actually questionable to play yesterday and played back-to-back, but it's the Celtics. You figure you're going to get all of your starters in the lineup. If there's one game on a back-to-back and basically both of these games at home, you figure those starters will play tonight. I'm not feeling the Sixers all that much. Didn't bet it either way, but the game I actually like here is we're getting a first look at the Phoenix Suns team in totality tonight. It looks like Booker and Durant and Beal all going to play as a favorite. The Timberwolves had a nice victory yesterday against the Golden State Warriors. Back-to-back here. I think Phoenix wins going away. Also took a small parlay here. 20 points or more out of Devin Booker and also 2 3-point shots or more made by Kevin Durant. It's like a plus 115 just to have a little bit of fun there. But I think the Suns, you finally get to see what they're about in 2023. And I just maxed it in there with a little bit of a parlay as well. So good times in the NBA here.
All right. Good luck with those, Donnie. I particularly like those player props. So good luck there. Let's jump into it, Sammy. Let's start out week 10 last week in the NFL. How was it for you? How'd you do?
Yeah, not too bad overall. I went 4-3 on the pick 7. Had 14 points, so right in the middle. I can't really seem to get a 6-1, 7-0 in there, but obviously that's pretty hard. But head above water. I did lose my eliminator pick with Baltimore. It was pretty brutal to watch. I did have the Bengals, and then I was smart and I switched from the Bengals to Baltimore, and then Houston ended up obviously winning. And then Baltimore's up by 14 points in the fourth quarter, and then they lost the game. Cleveland didn't win the game as more as Baltimore lost the game.
Right.
And again, the spread, whatever, but them losing straight up was pretty frustrating. But on to next year for the eliminator.
Unfortunately so, Sammy. Sorry to hear about that tough loss for you, man. But speaking of contests, speaking of winners, top 5 last week, guys, in our NFL Pick'em contest. Number 1, LT Profits, 7-0. Good job, LT. Gaucho Jake in at number 2. Headster X at number 3. Leisure in at number 4. And then White Phil Ivy rounding out the top 5. Sam, how's the year-to-date standings looking in the NFL contest?
Yeah, year-to-date, the top 5 is all within 10 points. Tied for 4th. You got
Close
Mr.
battle.
Donnie.
Close battle.
Donnie,
Yeah,
4th
we're hanging.
place.
Right up there,
We're
Donnie.
hanging.
Right up
We're
there.
hanging, man.
And
Yeah,
then we got
we're
Red,
hanging.
Right, Red, 182. You got Head Sturks, 185 in third place. Second place, Leisure with 191. And Daniel SP at 192. So 1 point between top 2, and then 7 points between top 3. So it's competitive.
It is very competitive, and good luck to all our participants moving forward. Donnie, how was your week 10 in the NFL?
Yeah, it was on the pick contest. It was 3-4, but I picked up a win on 7-5 and a couple really close losses. But look, if you're going, you can't have great weeks every week in the NFL. You just can't have that disaster week where you go like 1-6 in the contest, and the only one you picked right was like your number 1, which you only get 1 point for at that point. So still hanging around there in the top 4, confident there that I should be there the rest of the way. But overall, it was a mixed match week here when you try to take a look at some of the final scores. But for myself, I find myself more than going on like straight wagers myself, taking more prop bets, which was an okay week overall. But I got to tell you right now, there are some bad football teams in the NFL. And I know we'll leak this right into the Eliminator contest. If Tommy DeVito is being run out as a quarterback, every single week you just need to be playing a team if you have them available against the New York Giants. Never in a million years did I think I'd be going into week 11, guys, and I'd be playing the Washington Commanders in a game, but I'm so confident that they can handle the New York Giants, even though they actually lost to them a couple weeks previous. But DeVito was so bad. Like last week, my eliminator pick was the Dallas Cowboys. And what a joke that was. It turned out to be an easy bye week. And I didn't want to confuse it by saying, well, let me go with another pick. Because I tell you who was right up there too. It's like, oh, should I use, Cincinnati right now? I think they're going to beat Houston. I'm like, Donnie, don't be stupid. It's been working for you all along. You want to go with your
gut there.
Yes, just take the easy victory here with the Cowboys. Don't save the Cowboys for later. And it worked out in my favor. Now, this week, I actually have the Detroit Lions open as well, which I do think they'll handle the Chicago Bears. But you're at the point now where you're running out of elite football teams. And the longer you can wait on them, the better. But again, you don't want to bite yourself by going like, oh, it's a 3-point line. I'll take this game. Trust me. DeVito, there's no way he can win this football game or at least score more than like 17 points. I had to take the Commanders this week. It seems like a layup to me.
All right. Good luck this coming week, Donnie, with that. Week 11 in college football, guys. Quick recap of our week 11 winners in our college pick'em contest. Number 1, Pornhub Casino. Number 2, Big Daddy James. Number 3, Hunch. Number 4, Lex Icon. And number 5, Mike 1234. Congratulations to our top 5 winners. Sammy, how's the full season looking? Or is there a close race in college?
Yeah, college is 12-point separation, top 4. You got Go Bucks at 184, 4th place. Haas Wilbur, 186. Red Right Red, 189. And Hawkwin, 196. Actually, while I was typing this up earlier, it's kind of funny because college is 1 week ahead of NFL.
Right.
And it's the same structure and the same point system. So the first place Hawkwin has 196 in college, and the top in NFL is 192, and NFL is 1 week back. So overall, we're doing better at NFL than we're doing at college based on those results.
Huh. Very interesting statistics there. Thank you for that, Sammy. And that's very surprising too to hear that.
I'm not surprised. Huh. Overall, that we're better at NFL than college, just as a commandant group.
Let's jump right into it, Sammy, since you're on a roll here. How's the tennis threat looking? What's the season record? What do you got?
Yeah, so tennis right now is in their finals. Right now, I'm watching a match between Medvedev and Zverev. I got Zverev plus the games right there. 808 and 660 plus 39 units. We're basically down to the last 4 or 5 days, the last 6, 7 bets of the year. So you're going to end the year high 30s, low 40s on the unit. Can't complain. Couple weeks off, and we'll start it again next year.
All right, Donnie, how was your college football last week? How was week 12? How was week 11 for you?
College football was pretty good, but the one game that I was wrong on here, I thought the over would get home on the Michigan-Penn State game. It had a decent start, a little bit slow, but picked up in the second half, but wasn't able to get over the threshold. It's only 45 overall. Now, Penn State winning that football game against Michigan, you might have thought they had a chance. Then you remember, oh, yeah, James Franklin is the head football coach there. But the Miami Hurricanes stayed within the number against the Florida State Seminoles. Big picture again this weekend. There's a lot of really good football games. You have Georgia and Tennessee. By the way, Georgia and Alabama already locked in to the SEC championship game on December 2nd, no matter what happens. But granted, you don't want to slip up in any of these games because why? The national championship is ready to unfold. Like if you're Georgia and you lose on the road this weekend to Tennessee, you better win that SEC championship game. However, if Georgia goes unbeaten into that SEC championship game against a one-loss Alabama team and loses, Georgia's probably still going to go to the college football playoff. So a lot of really interesting things. But next week is the monster game, though, right? Ohio State, Michigan, and away we go. So as you alerted me to so astutely, next week is actually Thanksgiving. We got a lot to look forward to over the next week and a half now.
Yes, we do. And since you brought it up, Donnie, what do you got this coming weekend for us in college, week 12?
College, look, the games aren't that great, but here's the one that's going to stick out like a sore thumb here. Washington is unbeaten here. And if the season were to end today, based on the college football playoff rankings, they're out right now. You got to be in the top 4. They're listed as number 5. It'll go a long way if they win this weekend. Now, you might think if you're just a casual fan, Washington's going to take on Oregon State. Oh, easy victory whatsoever here for Washington, right? They're not even the favorite in this game. Oregon State is a 2.5-point favorite over Washington. So there's no longer pulling the upset for Oregon. They're actually favored to win. I'm interested to see what Michael Penix and the boys do this weekend, but I got a hunch. Washington should be able to go into Oregon State. Don't give me like, oh, everybody's leaving the Pac-12 and this is a revenge spot here for Oregon State to get them back before they leave. Nonsense here. Penix is a really good quarterback. I still think they win that football game. But Tennessee, I think, can stay inside the number against Georgia and that 10.5. The reason being, think about this in college football and the pros. The pros, you have 17-game schedule, right? Either way, you're going to have 8 home games or 9 away games. It doesn't matter. It's going to flip-flop each and every year for depending on which team plays. Now, in college football, how about this? The third true road game of the season, as will be mid to late November. That's what we're talking about here for Georgia. Only their third true road game of the season. You know what the other 2 games were? At Auburn, which usually is a really big environment. They stink this year. At Vanderbilt, the layup on the schedule for SEC teams. This is your first real test on the road for the Georgia Bulldogs. I think Tennessee can hang around. Not saying they can win. I think they can stay inside that number.
All right. Well, thank you, Donnie, and best of luck with that. Sammy, what do you got for us? What do you like this weekend in college football? And finally, how was your last week?
Yeah, Donnie hit all the talking points. I was just nodding my head that whole time. My big note there is Washington, right? So Washington is sitting at number 5, and Michigan and Ohio State play next week. So Michigan, Ohio State are top 4 right now. They're number 1 and number 3. One of them loses. Does one of them drop out of the top 4 if Washington goes undefeated? Obviously, if Washington loses, they have no shot to make the playoffs. Starting next year, that's when you have the 8 teams that make the playoffs, would then open up a whole other parameters, considering right now, Alabama, even if they beat Georgia, still might be on the outside looking in, and Georgia could probably hang in there at number 4. So a lot of big storylines right there moving into the final 2 weeks. But I do agree with Donnie, and again, I am going to take Washington in the big game over Oregon State at 7:30.
All right. Well, good luck with that, Sammy. And guys, this is your last and final chance to get in on our poker event. This is week number 12. Last one before our Tournament of Champions event. So if you want to get in, guys, make sure you send me a private message. Comment down below my thread. The final game for the Tournament of Champions will be this coming Saturday at 8 o'clock. So make sure you let me know if you want in. Speaking of poker, Sammy, how is the house games going? When's your next one?
Yeah, actually, I got a house game on Monday at my house. I have penciled in 16 names, which is pretty much capacity for my basement. So, typically 1 or 2 might cancel, but the last few months it's been 11, 12. Now I'm looking at 14, 15, 16. So
big rakes for the house.
So yeah, excited. And we'll have that Monday night football game on the TV between Philly and Kansas City. So it's a win-win-win all the way around.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Well, speaking of winning, if you guys want some bowler coins, the month just started, guys. Plenty of time to get involved in our NHL Dog of the Day monthly contest. It ends at the end of the month, but we will be posting lines at 12 noon Eastern time for the available underdogs of that day. Go ahead and post an LT Profits threat. You're going to select one underdog per day from the lines that are posted. You must play at least 20 days over the course of the contest to qualify for prizes, and the standings will be based on units, guys. So first is 300 bowler coins, second is 125 bowler coins, and finally third is 75 bowler coins. So if you guys want some bowler coins, get involved in that and win some coins. Speaking of winning, Sammy, big shout out, big congratulations to you. Streak of Fortune winner.
That's great.
500 hours. Talk us through it. Was there any thoughts of hedging that last game?
It's funny that you say that because I had some friends at work and, obviously I'm talking to them about it. And for
Right.
$500, you think, okay, a lot of the lines that were drawn based on what the odds were minus 110 plays. They
Right.
didn't have any really big money lines. And I was looking at them. I didn't like any of the NBA spreads. I didn't really like any of the hockey games. One of them was a -1 puck line. So, then you really got to win by 2. And I'm not liking that. My initial gut all week was that I liked Denver plus 7.5. The line came out at +7. So I'm like, this kind of stinks. And then ultimately,
you might get that push.
gut.
Yeah.
Yeah, just went with the gut, suck with it. First instinct, don't overthink it. And Denver, it was nice because it was pretty much a no sweater. 12 seconds in, interception Josh Allen, and Denver started off with a field goal, and they never looked back. They were never in a losing position spread wise.
All right. Well, congratulations again, and hopefully you can turn that 500 into who knows how much.
That's the plan. Turn it into gold. Parlay, baby.
Exactly. And last but not least, guys, speaking of gold, speaking of coins, if you want some more bowler coins, make sure you follow us on Twitter at BMR Reviews. Follow us on Instagram at BMR_review. Send myself, send Jeannie, send somebody a private message and let us know that you're following, and we will get you over those bowler coins. But best of luck in the coming week to all the action, everybody, and we will see you guys on the forum.
See ya.